Excellent. Now, welcome to the Energize Your Everyday workshop. And we're going to talk about how you can reduce your perimenopausal symptoms, because that's why you are here. You found me on Instagram or on Facebook, and you've resonated with the message around the perimenopausal symptoms. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about what you can focus on to reduce these perimenopausal symptoms in 90 days if you really want to. Now, who am I? I'm Lisette Bouwers. I'm originally, I have been born in the Netherlands. However, I live in the south of France for 14 years now. Yeah, 14 years. And originally I was an environmental engineer in Holland. So that was my job. Very passionate about it. But then I moved to the south of France and I got pregnant straight away. So that was my story of, I became a mother. And after a couple of years, I thought, oh, I want something different. So I changed into advanced clinical weight loss practitioner. I've got certifications in there. And these days, I'm really an expert on reversing perimenopausal symptoms in a natural way. So no medication, no extremes, just in a natural way that the body can balance back into functioning properly. Now, I call myself definitely a woman's hormonal health specialist because I've been doing this for years now. And I've created a method, it's a 90-day method that I call the Energize Your Everyday method. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more as well in this webinar. Now, what is it that I'm going to walk you through? We only have 90 minutes today, so I'm going to give it the best I've got. And I'm going to teach you certain things that I teach my clients in this 90-day period to reduce the perimenopausal symptoms. So what you'll learn today, what you'll walk away is like a shorter version of that. And we're going to talk about why is it that women over 40 end up having these perimenopausal symptoms? Where is it coming from? How are they connected on a deeper level? And what it is that you can do to reduce these symptoms completely, or reverse or reduce. So I'm also going to show you what I do. I've got a 3-step process for this that I use with my clients, and I'm going to walk you through that as well. Is that all good for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So then quickly before we start, some of you are already in my hormone balance community. Once you've registered for the workshop, there was an option. If you've not clicked on that one yet, the first QR code, perhaps you can take your phone and scan it. So if you scan that QR code, you'll be straight away a member of this free hormone balance community. And what happens in this community is it's women asking each other questions, a lot on HRT, a lot on weight loss as well. And what I do, once or twice a week, I'm posting something around hormone balance. And every now and then I'm doing these little challenges as well, where I just take a little snippet out of my program and I just say like, okay, work with this for this week. So this is, this is good fun and women learn a lot. So if this is something you're interested in, you can scan the first QR code. And the second QR code, that is my Insta for all the Insta girls in the group who would like to keep following me. I post as well once or twice a week on Instagram. So there's that. So this is then also a way of keeping in contact with me. If, for example, you have any questions after this workshop, please feel free to use the hormone balance community, because if you're posting your question in a group, you automatically will help others as well. Because if I'm then answering your question, everyone will hear. And this is what really creates that nice community. So there's around 300 plus women in this group. So for those who think that sounds like me, you're free to use that. So now let's talk about what happens. Oh, now we've done that. Yep. There we go. Yeah, so what happens after the age of 40 in the female body? Now, the female body becomes more sensitive, more reactive, and more easily upset than it did when you were in your 30s. And the reason that you're probably here with me today is probably because your body also became more sensitive, reactive, and upset. And this is why you now have certain issues that you don't really understand what's going on. Now, why does this body get more sensitive, reactive, and upset? Is a question that I get a lot. Now, this is due to a hormonal change in your body. And we're going to dive in deep during this workshop. Now, and because of the change in the hormones, you now have all these symptoms that you were not experiencing before. A couple of examples of this is the brain fog, low energy, weight gain, broken sleep, and anxiety. Those are the main 5 that a lot of women are suffering from. So now I want to do something fun with you. I hope you all brought a piece of paper and a pen. If you don't have that, maybe you can quickly go and fetch it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to list a list of symptoms that I've been hearing over the last few years that women tell me that they're suffering from, and they are related to hormones being out of balance. Now, how this works is I'm going to read them out one by one. Got my list here. And you then can jot them down on your piece of paper. So no need to overthink it. You just quickly scribble it down. Like a quick yes or a no. Is everyone ready for that? Thumbs up? Yeah, great. Now, let's start with the classics then. I call them the classics. Those are the 5 I just mentioned. These are the most common. Of course, you have the hot flushes that a lot of women experience. It's also a classic. However, when I say classics, I mean weight gain, belly fat, more anxiety, brain fog, feeling tired, and reduced energy. So those 5 are the classics. If you have that, you write down classics. But there is more. So here we go. Low motivation, low sex drive, pain during sex, feeling weak, breast tenderness, feeling bloated, loss of muscle, mood swings, or feeling emotional, heavy periods, craving for sweet foods, finding it hard to stop eating, slow recovery after illness, irritable or angry, feeling down, feeling tired after eating, thinning hair or hair loss, losing weight and then get it back real quickly. So like, all the effort was for nothing. Feeling tired but wired. Joint pain or pain when you move certain body parts like a shoulder or a neck or hips. Broken sleep. Or more specifically, waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. Storing fat under your shoulder blades. Feeling anxious. Feeling cold. Constipation or stool that doesn't pass properly. Forgetfulness. Headaches and migraines. Hi, Carolina. It's all good. Carolina, I've been taking everyone through a list of symptoms. So we're at the end of the list now, but you haven't missed much. So we're just going through symptoms that can occur in the perimenopause. And if you're welcome. And Carolina, if it's possible for you and you can be on video, that would be great, because then it's nice to interact. Yeah. So ringing ears, sluggish digestion, a frozen shoulder. And I say ringing ears, but also itchy ears. Itchy ears is also a perimenopausal thing. It's so weird. Right, so we've all have certain symptoms on your piece of paper by now. So before we start this workshop, I would like you to share in the chat the ones you've written down, or the ones that resonated with you, or if there's something that really surprised you in the list, just share a little bit in the chat. And you can share as much or as little as you want. Feeling cold surprised me. Yeah. So I'll give you a bit of time to chat. Weight gain, severe bloatness. Yeah, bloating. Definitely. Feeling tired after eating surprised me. Yeah, definitely a hormonal issue. Classic itchy ears, hopefully not. But yes, most of the other stuff for you. And Carolina, if you missed the list, but if you just say like, oh, I want to share what I'm suffering from, then you can type that in here as well, if you like. Joint pain is a main issue, ankles, shoulders, and now knees. Yeah. Joe, I get regular, migraines with my cycles now. Yeah, joint pain, stiffness, craving sweet foods, hip, joint pain. Yes. So thank you all so much for sharing. It's good to get it out, what you're suffering from. But also, I think it's nice to share, so showing to others that this is a real thing. More emotional for me, someone says. Yeah, so it's good to share so that others also know that they're not the only one. So I think there's a little bit of power in there as well. Now, let me share something. You can't have the video on, Joe. It's all good. If you can't do it, then this is all good. So let me start with something important here. Even though if you have quite the list, Sarah says hair loss, fizzy hair, bloating, and mood swings. So yeah, even though if you have quite the list of symptoms, that might feel that now your body is letting you down, or that you've done something wrong, or that you're imagining it. Sometimes women, they're told that they're overreacting. However, none of that is true. Okay? You are not broken. Your body can bounce back from where you are now. And before we're diving deeper in on how to do it, I would like to explain to you first is how women can get stuck when they're not focusing on the root cause. And I also want to show something shocking news with you, because they are sort of tied in with each other. So first of all, society is not set up for women going through perimenopause, transitioning to the menopause. Now you might think, why is that? What's going on there? Well, if a woman goes to the doctor, you might have been there yourself, she often gets to hear the message, nothing is wrong with you. Now, the reason why a lot of women get that message is because most doctors, they are not trained to identify the underlying issue, hormonal issue. Now, you might think that's a little weird because they're doctors. And I totally agree with you, because out of research, it shows that when doctors right now, when they were medical students back then, they only had around 5 hours of dedicated teaching on menopause. So not even perimenopause, but menopause. So these are all different phases: post-menopause, menopause, perimenopause. So you imagine only a handful of hours over 6 years of medical school is not a lot. So what often happens as well is during these workshops, I get a lot of coaches who want to learn more about hormone health, but even doctors, they join the webinar because they just want to learn more about perimenopause. Now, why is this an issue for women? Because when the doctor doesn't see the underlying hormonal cause, what often happens is that the doctor then looks at the individual issue. So, for example, if someone can't sleep, women could maybe walk away from this appointment with or some sleep medication, depending on the seriousness, some supplements, or just some overall advice to maybe improve sleep hygiene or something like this. For losing weight, it's the same. Women get told to maybe change their diet. So what happens is, to a lot of women, they end up being stuck in that cycle of taking the wrong advice. So they've been given an advice, but it's not the right advice for them to move forward from where they are now. So what I would like for you today is to maybe start a little bit of that ripple effect here, because my mission is really to spread this word to other women. And I would like to ask you, if you have a friend who also needs to hear this message that I'm going to tell you today, could you please share the replay of this video with her? And this is really how women can support other women. If you want to have the replay, I'm recording this. Just send me a little WhatsApp after the session, just a DM, not in the main group, and then I'll send it to you. And this is how women can support other women. Now, who's ready to hear a little bit more about hormones? Thumbs up. Cool. Now, hormonal shift. So I said, we have a hormonal shift going on in our body. And if you're saying like, hey, I'm not broken, but you're saying it's the hormonal shift, tell me a little bit more. Now, here's a little biology lesson. So what happens is, in our 30s, we are reproducing often. This is the phase where we get our babies, and our cycle is very regular. We have 3 main hormones: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And they're kind of fluctuating, and they make sure the cycle happens and that we can conceive and all that. Now, when we hit 40s, this is when these 3 hormones, they are starting to act a little bit weird. So what you can see in the picture here, let me see if can you see my mouse? Yeah, so that's here. Let's say this before there is the 30s. Here is when you're in your 40s. And what happens is those 3 hormones, they start to fluctuate amongst the 3 of them. So you can see it's a bit random, and it declines. Now, the decline is to make sure that one day you're no longer getting a cycle, and that's because at one day we stop being able to reproduce. And once we've had our last day, our last ovulation and our last period, then we are in menopause. Now, menopause is only one day in your life, if you think about it, because there's only one day in your life where you can have your last period. But in the medical world, we give women 12 months the time, so they can see, okay, if you have 12 months, have not had a period, then you are officially post-menopause. So that's the dotted line here. And the 12 months we call the menopause. But in theory, menopause is one day. The whole 10 years before, it's perimenopause. And all the life you're living after that one day is called post-menopause. Does that make sense for everyone? Yeah, not too difficult. So, yeah, hormones I'm talking. So you might say like, okay, what hormones? Because we all know the word. Women often get to hear like, oh, you're hormonal, but yeah, what does that even mean? What does a hormone do? So very short, a hormone is the messenger in your body. So they are the postmans. They are the main communication system in your body. Now, what do I mean by the main communication system? So what I mean by that, if something needs to happen in the body, it is always the hormones that set that into action. Now, it's very interesting to know is that we have many different hormones. And somehow these hormones, they are connected with each other on a deeper level. So this is why I chose that picture, because if you say that's the hormones, they're all connected. And that is then also the reason why women, when they're in perimenopause, they often don't have one symptom. They always have a list of symptoms. Because if one hormone is out of balance, it takes other hormones out of balance as well. Now, I call that a little bit a domino effect going on in the body. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So what do I mean by domino effect? I mean, when this estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, those three they, like you saw in the picture, they decline, but they're also fluctuating. They're creating chaos. And while they are creating the chaos, they're taking other hormones along with them. Now, I'm talking about hormones like cortisol, insulin, thyroid, and there's a load more. But those are main ones, are hunger hormones as well. Now, it is those hormones that are involved in energy, stress, metabolism, weight gain. So these changes that you're feeling in your energy, like the cravings, the mood, and the weight gain, that is that domino effect that is now going through your whole system. So what is it that you need to do? Well, you need to stop that domino effect. You need to block that. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Yeah. Now, weight gain. Let's talk a little bit about weight gain. I love this topic. Weight gain is such a classical example of hormones being out of balance. Women don't believe me. They always feel that they need to chase a supplement and that there's somewhere a magic supplement that will make them lose weight. It doesn't exist. It's on a hormonal level. So I hear it all the time then, women, they're telling me they have gained weight and they can't seem to shift that weight. Now, some of you during this week have shared that with me too, that you're suffering from weight gain. Now, when this occurs in the 40s, women, they start to do all sorts of things. They're trying to eat less. cutting carbs, exercising more, being a good girl, intermittent fasting, gym memberships, I hear, weight loss patches, Weight Watchers. These days, the GLP-1 injections, they're kind of a hot topic as well. And there's also other medication that I hear women trying to lose weight. Or, like I mentioned, a variation of all sorts of supplements. Now, the diet industry, of course, they love it because all these women there are spending so much money. And you can maybe, it's good to say that the best client of the weight loss industry, who do you think they are? It's the middle-aged woman. She dominates that market completely. And they're spending a lot of money there, all to hope to lose weight and hoping to feel better. But then often women, they come to me and they say, yeah, that didn't really work. So why is that? Now, I want to tell you why it is that most diets fail. Because these diets, they don't take into account what is happening on the inside of your body on a hormonal level. Now, this is what I tell my clients, and I also am going to tell it to you. Maybe you want to write it down so you'll remember it later on. Is that if you want to get rid of the weight and you want to get rid of these perimenopausal symptoms, is that you need to stop applying these old strategies that don't align with your hormonal situation. Now, what do I mean by that? And if everyone knows the answer to this, please feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat. But what is, for example, if a woman wants to lose weight, what is the first advice she will get? Anyone? It's a classic advice.
Eat less, move more.
Yes, bingo. It's always the same. Eat less, move more. Now, this is so outdated, this advice. And this worked really well for when you were younger. It really works probably well for your husband. However, for women over 40, it does not work. In fact, it makes things worse because we're putting the body into a starvation mode, which increases the cortisol. And the cortisol says like, okay, we're in survival, so let's hold on to fat because it might come in handy for the future. So this is, it's really the most terrible advice you can take. Now, what is the result for all these women? They're spending their cash, they're spending all their time and their effort into a solution, like, for example, eat less, move more, or get that gym membership. And what it is that it's not aligned with your hormonal situation. Now, what happens there is that then women, they feel confused, they feel frustrated, they feel exhausted. And in fact, what they often tell me is that they say like, my body has given up on me. And if this resonates with you, you can share it in the chat or give me a thumbs up or something else. Now, what is it then that you should do instead? And I get that question a lot. It's like, what should I do? Especially in the hormone balance community, women ask me like, how can I reduce these perimenopausal symptoms? And how can I shed that weight? You need to start focusing on balancing your hormones. And honestly, I see this again and again when women, when they start to focus on balancing their hormones in a natural way, they can wear the clothes that no longer cover up the belly area. They get so much more energy. And energy is really important, isn't it? Yes or no? For women. Because we're busy all day long. Yes. And we're running households, we're looking after our kids, there's parents often When we're 40, the parents are slightly older, so they become maybe more dependent. And women, they're juggling all these balls. So really need that energy. But what I also see is that when women start to focus on balancing these hormones, they start to sleep better. So that's also then causing that they have more energy the next day. But they feel also more motivated and more creative, and they get the mental clarity. So a lot of women, they say to me, I really feel like, oh, now I have time to spend on that side hustle that was getting dusty on the shelves. So it's all connected when the hormones are all connected, like mood, how you feel. It's all the hormones. Now, another thing that I hear when women balance their hormones is also that they feel more calm. And this has a huge effect on their family life, on their social life in general, but on their family life overall. And the reason why I say this to women, that makes complete sense to me, is because when your hormones are out of balance and there's this domino war going on the inside, you have that domino effect going on in your body. Of course you can't be nice. Of course you can't be kind, because you feel irritable, you feel angry. Now, often it's the family members who are taking that first hit. And what women then tell me is like, I feel quite guilty about that, that I can't show up as the person I want to be towards my kids. But also I feel that my marriage is, for example, a little bit more sensitive at the moment. So balancing the hormones is also a way of bringing more calm and peace into your life. And is this possible? Yes, this is so possible after the age of 40, because your body is not done. What you need to focus is on taking different types of actions, like moves into, do moves that support your body in a different way. And when you then give your body that little bit of extra support, and we're going to talk about this later on how to do that, the body really responds beautifully. And for those who are in the hormone balance community, for example, Mandy is in there. She just showed recently this week the results that she's had with her diabetic. I'm talking about that more later on. Now you might think, why was it again important to focus on the hormones? It is important because it's the hormones who decide how your body stores the fat, how your body uses energy, how hungry you feel, how inflamed you are, how good you sleep, all these things, but also how moody and calm you are, how fast the metabolism runs, how much weight you lose or you gain, body temperature. I think, Helen, it was you who said like, oh, body temperature surprised me. Well, yes, it's regulated by our hormones. So if you're always feeling cold or hot, is a hormonal issue. Now, most of the symptoms that you've shared in me, most of them, I've scanned them, so maybe I've missed one or two, but most of those that I saw there that you shared with me, they are related to one or several hormones being out of balance. So by finding out what that hormone then is and causing that specific perimenopausal symptom, if you then start to support that hormone, bring it back into balance, this is then how you can reverse many of these issues that are going on right now. Does that make sense for everyone? Yes or no? Not, if you can make sense. Yeah. Okay, great. Not too difficult so far? Okay, great. Let's move on. So why is then now? Because I've invited you to the workshop, you're here, so now you might think, okay, should I start with balancing my hormones now? Or when should I start? Now, for example, if you're in the perimenopause, some of you might already be in menopause here or in that 12-month period, and some of you might be post-menopause. Either way, if you're having all these symptoms and you're doing nothing on bringing back to the balance, back to the hormones, what happens is that these hormones keep causing that domino effect that keeps going on and on and on and on. So what happens there is that weight gain keeps accelerating, but also inflammation keeps rising until you wake up each day with really sore joints. But also moods can become more and more unstable. Sleep becomes more lighter and more broken. And then what happens there is that women then, they wake up in the morning and they become dependent on, for example, coffee to make it through the day, or sugar through the day, or they're depending on alcohol to fall asleep. All these things then happen, and this makes it even worse. But also, for example, your metabolism can slow down. If you're not focusing on the hormones, metabolism slows down even more and more, which then creates more and more constipation, which is a lot less innocent as some women might think. But also what I hear is some women, they say, I can't bounce back after feeling ill. Some women say, like, it takes me a month to bounce back from a cold, or I have this cold that constantly comes back. Or worst case scenario, this might not apply to most of you, but maybe there's always one or two in the room. They say, like, I'm on prolonged sick leave because of the perimenopausal symptoms, or I can really no longer function in social outings because I have so much anxiety that I just can't do it. And even though I was a party animal in the past, I can't do it. So not focusing now can come with a price tag that one day that all these symptoms, they keep stacking up. It keeps kind of expanding the issues. So from feeling one day bloated and tired, anxious, to then, for example, one day not even being able to sleep proper 8 hours, like accelerating weight gain. And some women, they tell me, like, wow, I don't even know who I am anymore. I feel so bad in my own skin. Yeah, preventing these issues now by focusing on the hormones, you can stop that stack from growing. We're reducing the stack. Give the body some time to heal. Now, I would like to share with you that all this, what I'm sharing with you, doesn't come from a book. It's coming from my own experience. I'm 45 now. For me, I started quite early in the perimenopause. So what I'm going to tell you is from just after COVID. So that's around 2019. And we were all very happy because it was that first weekend when we were free to go out and to be sociable again. So we're going out with a couple of friends to this beautiful campsite in Saint-Tropez. And we have these beach huts on the beach, and I can really see the palm trees, they're waving, and I can hear my kids, they're screaming, they found some crabs. And I can see my mates, they're sitting on a blanket and they're all sipping on rosé and they're having a really good time. And not me, I'm sitting in my mobile home and I'm on the kitchen floor and I'm kind of rocking myself because the feelings that I have in my body, they're just, I don't know where they're coming from. And I'm so worried about my health. In secret, I've already decided that I'm going to die. And I'm not sure if you ever had that feeling that you thought, like, what is all going on, that you worry like it's a cancer or it's an autoimmune disease. So I'm sitting there on that floor, looking at my hands, they're tingling. I'm so exhausted. I can't sleep. And it feels like my battery is only 25% charged. So these hands are tingling. I can't feel them anymore. So I quickly call my husband. I said, can you come? Can you watch the kids? And he says, okay, you need to go to the hospital. So this is where I'm doing. I'm going to the hospital. And once I'm there, it's like, they ask me, what is going on with you? And I say, I have no energy, my sleep is poorly, I feel bloated, almost like I'm pregnant again. I'm also cold all the time. I can't regulate my temperature. I'm tired beyond words. And I noticed that my hair is falling out and I can't seem to remember anything. And I had to ask my husband the code of my own bank card because I just couldn't remember. I had to call him, and that was not the first time. I keep forgetting all these things. And if I'm honest with you, I think that I'm suffering like these headaches that I have, the migraines. I think I've got a brain tumor or maybe some cancer. I think I need a brain scan. What do you think? Of course, you don't have a brain tumor. What I think that you have is anxiety. So here's a pill. You can go to the pharmacy, start taking those twice a day, and also do this blood test, and then go see your GP after you're back from the holiday. So this is then what happens. I go see my GP, I've done that test, I take those pills, and I do many more of these tests because I keep going backwards and forwards because I'm quite a stubborn person. I just want to get to the bottom of it. I just want to understand what is going on. Now, I see so many doctors here in the Côte d'Azur. I spent hundreds on bills, on pills, on supplements. And every time I'm taking them back to the doctor, the results, and the answer is the same, like, no, it looks normal. There's nothing wrong with you. So I keep walking out prescription after prescription, but also referral after referral. And all these doctors, they are prescribing different things that contradict. And at one point, I'm on 16 different pills. But nothing got better. So at home, yeah, exactly. That was a bit of a shocker. So nothing gets better. At home, I'm still tired and grumpy. I don't really laugh the way I used to do. And life feels really heavy for me. I feel that I'm living in this survival mode. And I keep thinking, how is this even possible? I'm doing exactly the same things as I did when I was in my 30s. And how does it feel that now, once I've gone into my 40s, that I'm aging at a double speed? So my plan is, like, if the doctors can't tell me, I need to get to the bottom of this. So where do I start? I start asking around with some friends, like, hey, do you have these weird things as well? And yes, some of them say they do, some of them, they say they don't. And I was like, okay, how can I solve this? Well, do some meditation. Okay, I'm doing the meditation. Yes, I feel really nice after meditation. However, all these symptoms I'm having, they're still there. Then another friend says, try some supplements or some essential oils. And yes, again, I am loving it. Like, I love the fact that I'm giving myself a supplement. I think it's a placebo effect, like, oh, I'm doing something good for myself. Makes me feel a little bit better. And same with the essential oil. I enjoy it. However, all my symptoms, they are staying there. So I'm like, okay, I need to take this to the next level. I'm going to Google it. So back then we had no ChatGPT or Claude, so we were old-fashioned Google. So I'm Googling this, and I find so much information, even on Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, wow, I can work with this. So I start to do all this random stuff. So I'm like, I'll do a bit of intermittent fasting, cutting some carbs. Then someone says, go walking. I do that a lot of exercise, drink some water. I'm doing it all, but it's random. And I don't really know where the results are coming from. Some results are there, a little bit, but not enough. And then they go away. And I'm just so confused. I still feel like unlike myself. So then one day, yet another appointment, another pill, another referral. And I think, okay, I'm just so done with this. I need to take this to the next level because I don't want to age like this. Now, a little thing that I'd like to share with you. When I was still living in Cloggy land in the Netherlands, I was an environmental engineer and I was a consultant for the government. So what I did there is the governments, different governments, local or regional or national government, they would hire me for 90 days, 3-month, 4-month period to come in to look at like, okay, this is how we want to improve our environmental score. What is it that you can do? So my job was to really start analyzing and start picking out things like, okay, this you need to shovel around, this is what you need to do there, this or that, create a method and have it consistently, make sure that all the employees, that they knew that the people who lived in that village or in that part of the country were informed. So that was my job. So one night I'm sitting on the sofa, I'm thinking, hey, can I take that same approach to my own physical environment? Creating a method, like analyzing where does it go wrong? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? So I start researching. So this time it's not the trends, not the quick fixes, it's not the Instagram, Facebook hacks, quick wins, I think they call them. But I'm starting to learn how the female body works after the age of 40. So here is what happens. I become a hormone balance expert. I go back to school. I'm learning about the hormones and how they act as messengers. Yeah? So like I shared with you before, how they respond to the signals, the stress, the food, the sleep, inflammation, what have you not. It's the hormones that are the root cause. They are the underlying, they're the foundation of our functioning or dysfunctioning of our body. And then I start to learn about the individual hormones and what they need to support and what you definitely should and should not do for that. So this is great information. I'm also reading a lot of medical books. I'm attending master classes. I'm taking many courses in women's health because there's so many out there, but it's generic health. You know, well, we're women, we're not men. We have different biochemistry. So if you're applying something, always make sure it's really specific to women because we are different. And I become an advanced clinical weight loss practitioner and I graduate with 92%. I shared this with you in the beginning. So I'm starting to apply this knowledge to myself first. I'm creating that. I'm just trying to figure out like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Oh, I shouldn't do that. So I'm trying to puzzle it. I'm slotting things in. And I'm creating that method that doesn't really focus on these individual steps, but does all these steps in certain sequences. And little by little, then I noticed that my brain fog lifted. I can remember, you know, these 6-digit authentication codes that you get everywhere to get into your computer, for example. Now, I couldn't really remember those, but now I start to notice, I was like, hey, I can memorize my card, my code for my card. I no longer need to call my husband for this. But also the exhaustion softened. My body composition really changed. Like I get really like the muscles and my mood came back. My energy returned. But honestly, by far, the biggest pleasure for me personally is that I felt that I came back alive again. I'm happier. I'm having fun. I'm feeling lighter. Instead of snapping to my kids, I'm now having fun with them. I noticed in the morning, it's no longer difficult for me to get out of bed. And this is important. On an evening, I no longer crash in front of the television with nothing left to give. I go out and I see my friends again. And here's what happened after that. It's really interesting. And friends and family and other women in my cycle, they start to notice me. They're like, hey, how come you have such good energy? Or, hey, your skin looks good. Or your body is toned and slim. What is it that you do? What is it that you do differently? So I was like, oh. So this is where my journey then starts, with sharing. Because originally I did this for me, because I wanted to heal myself. But now I'm sitting on something that really worked. So I start sharing the journey with my friends, and I can see it works for them as well. So then I think, okay, let's do webinars. Let's go speak on stages. So this is what I do. I talk about on stages on women, how they can reduce their perimenopausal symptoms. But this is important. I also tell them to bring their husbands along, so that they start understand what their wives are going through, so that they know how they can support, because it's a deeper problem. It goes deep on a family level as well. And I notice that I really enjoy doing this. It becomes this huge passion of mine. And after my speaking gigs and during these webinars, these women are sharing their health, and I start to take these women through my method. And every time what I notice is that I realize there is such a massive lack of support for women over 40 transitioning from the perimenopause to the menopause. And women have no knowledge on how to reverse these perimenopausal symptoms. And when they go to a doctor, there is no help for them. So there's a lot of unnecessary suffering. So this became my mission. Now, my mission is to really spread the word. Ladies, start focus on balancing your hormones. So now you might think, hey, Lisette, really nice story. Glad that you shared it with me. But I still don't know, how do I balance my hormones? How do I do that? Now, like I mentioned, this is a 90-minute workshop, and I can't go into all the steps that I'm doing during 90 days, but I'm happy to share some information here with you. Also, what I would like you to know is that once we're in the perimenopause and we already have symptoms, there is no quick fix. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Because the body needs time to recover. So we first need to reduce them, the issues, the imbalance, for the body to start healing and feeling great again. There's no way one pill will do that in one day. So this is why it's always a 90-day transition period. Now, I've created this 90-day transition period, and I've divided it into 3 complete different phases, each just as important as the other one. Who would like to hear a little bit more about that? Give me a thumbs up if you like to hear more. So, I have a 3-step system. The first phase is 1 month of restoring the body. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean by that, bringing back the good to the body. Give the body the building blocks, support, and attention that it needs for proper hormone signaling. Now, I'd like to explain that to you a little bit, because a lot of women, they had their babies in the 30s, and what women often do is they give. Women give everything they have from themselves to others. everything goes to the family often. And who knows the game Jenga? Give me a, yeah, you know it? Okay. So for those who don't know it, it's the game with the building blocks. And you build that tower. So let's say in your 30s, you have this beautiful tower. Then you start having your children, if you have some. If you don't have some, it can be also other way where women start to give parts from themselves. So what happens is during the 30s, women start taking out all these blocks. And by the time, always giving away, forgetting to restore themselves. By the time they're entering their 40s, they're entering the perimenopause with a body that is missing, that has a lot of gaps in them. Does that make sense if I explain it like this? Yes or no? Yeah. So then there is the perimenopause. The hormones start to throw an extra dose on top of that. So an extra bucket of, I wanted to say shit, but that's not a nice word to use in a webinar. So, but yeah, anyway, something like this. So there's then the hormones, they come up with another bucket. So we have this imbalance in the body that we are throwing on top of a body that was already not fully restored. A body out of balance, a body that was inflamed, high blood sugar levels, maybe overweight. Now, what happens is when a body is already not restored, so it doesn't have all the building blocks for hormone signaling, but also doesn't have all the building blocks for healing, and then we have the perimenopausal issues on top of it, what we have is a body that ends up in survival mode. Have you ever heard of survival mode? Yes or no? Yeah? Okay. So survival mode is when the body focuses on just getting through the day. Like, okay, let's keep this body alive. All the energy is just focused on simply staying alive. And this is then also what a lot of women tell me is like, I just feel that I have energy for just the bears, you know, like I only have energy for doing this and for the rest I don't have energy anymore. So that makes sense because the body is in survival mode. Now, when the body is in survival mode, often this goes hand in hand, and this is important, I want you to write it down. This goes hand in hand with raised cortisol levels, because cortisol is our hormone that really keeps us alive in these phases. Now, cortisol is not the bad girl. Cortisol is actually really, she's actually really the good girl, because when she's in balance, oh my goodness, you get so much benefit from her. If she's out of balance, she's a real moody hormone and can really create a lot of chaos in the body. So what do we do in restore the body? We're giving the body everything it needs to come back out of that survival mode and put it back into a relax mode. So you have the two different nervous systems. So we're taking it back to calm down. So the body can focus on healing, which is what we want. Now, a lot of programs, what I see them doing is they skip this all in total. So they say like, okay, here is your diet, here is your exercise program. So all the things that you can buy on internet, and believe me, I've bought so many of these 50, 60 euros programs that you can buy on Instagram. They all skip this part. They just take you to the main event to lose weight, because that they know that's what women want and that's what women like to buy. However, what it doesn't do is, for example, setting up, because cortisol is very important in the morning. So a little quick win, because I know you want to have a quick win. Have your breakfast within 30 minutes from waking, for example. Because what that does signals safety to the body. So we all hear intermittent fasting is the way forward. It's not the way forward, not for women. For men, yes. For women, it's not. So don't do this. So for example, in Restoring the Body, I take my clients through creating a morning routine that is good for hormone balance. So we're not going to do yoga and all this sort of stuff. If you want, this is great, but it's not focused on that. It's all focused on what are the 5 routines you can do that brings balance to the body. Same on the evening outro. There's rituals that are important. What if I wake up in the morning and you're not hungry at all? Yes, good question, Ness. Doesn't matter, because this is how you've trained your body probably over the time that you're not hungry. A lot of women say, I'm not hungry. Still, for your body to signal, you could have, for example, 1 fried egg. Just have something small that signals. And then later on at maybe 10 o'clock, you could have your second breakfast. Does that make sense? When you're feeling the hunger, but always feed the body. Women's in their 40s need to start doing this. So then we're also looking at, in the restoring phase, like what is everything that is triggering the body? Like what is creating imbalance in the organs? What is creating imbalance in the inflammation? What is it, what you need to focus on in your nutrition to really have the hormone balance? And for example, what that does for women, once they've done a month of restore, they go from this constant fatigue and the overwhelm to calm, more stable energy and restorative sleep. So this is where we always want to start, with restoring the sleep. This is so crucial. And creating a framework for the body where it can make that energy for women. Does that make sense? Okay, so a little story about Miriam. Miriam, she's adorable. She's French, and she came to me. She couldn't sleep. She also had a lot of belly fat, and her story was that ever since her twin boys were born, she always was a giver as well. Like everything was for the kids, and her sleep was always a bit off in general. However, because she was listening to the kids, that mother instinct. However, now the kids were 17 years old and she was late 40s in the perimenopause, and she told me, I cannot sleep. This is driving me absolutely insane. I just can't deal with it anymore. I'm going to bed. I maybe sleep for 2-3 hours. Then I wake up between 2 and 4. And then I'm awake and I'm having all these thoughts like, drives me nuts. I can't relax. No matter what I try, I go to the toilet, I'm doing breathing, whatever. Nothing really works. And after 4 o'clock, I seem to doze a little bit, but it's a very, very light sleep until 6 o'clock. So it's kind of, I'm not really going into the deep sleep. So the result of that is that because she didn't sleep, she was feeling tired. She got dependent on coffee. She had no energy to do the things that she wanted to do. And her body, and this is important because sleep and weight gain are also go on a hormonal level hand in hand. In her case, she created that extra weight on her body. So what we did with Miriam is we really restored her body. So for 1 month, I really coached her through all the steps. This is what you need to do. We picked out all the faults like I did before with my engineering job. Like, okay, this is what you need to do. Bam. And for Miriam, after the first month, she said to me, Lisette, it's not working. I've done everything what you've said. It's not working. I said, Miriam, give your body now a chance. You've restored your body. The whole framework is in place. Now you're going to doing the second month where you're resetting the hormones. And this is where you'll have the results. Trust me. So this is what she did. She then went into the second phase. resetting her hormones. And this is where she started to notice, like, hey, I can sleep again. She was like, oh, wow, I slept 5 hours in a row, which was huge for her. Then a couple of weeks later, hey, I slept 7 hours. I only woke up once. And then in the end, she had like a full night of sleep, no interruptions. And on top of that, she also lost 6.5 kilos. And that's really what she wanted for herself. Those are the two main things. And this was just restoring the body and resetting the hormones. So yeah, the resetting the hormones, you might think like, okay, let's talk about this now. So that's the main event, but I never ever do it. I never ever take women straight to resetting the hormones without restoring the body first. So what I see a lot is, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of these programs out there and they focus on individual actions. So there is one problem and they say like, okay, let's talk about sleep. Or there's one thing about feeling low in your mind, like mindset. And they say, okay, let's do a mindset program. Or weight gain, let's do a diet. If you focus on balancing the hormones, you can do everything, all these things. You don't need all these individual steps, because once the hormones are in balance, they are in balance, and hormones are the messengers in your body. So what I focus on is all hormones responsible for motivation, for sleep, for mood and anxiety, weight, cravings, and energy. So what that does for women, they go through resetting them one hormone at a time. We do one hormone at a time, and the same with puzzling. It's like, okay, what are you doing here? I'm doing this. Okay, change that, put that there, put that there. So it's one sequence of getting the puzzle right in that individual person, woman. So the issue is that I see is that a lot of women, they are not addressing what is driving all of this. So what happens there is that women, they get frustrated, they get stuck in a loop of focusing on individual items or taking the wrong advice from the wrong people, and they end up spending then their time, their money, trying all sorts of different things, and nothing has that chance, that lasting change. And then this is where they start to think like, hey, my body is broken. Probably I have to accept that this is how I'm aging. So that is not true. And let me tell you a little bit about Mandy. Mandy, she's just finished last weekend. So she's in the hormone balance community. If you want to reach out to her, please do. She's from Scotland, and Mandy was in this workshop where you are now. So she was there 3.5 months ago. She really didn't want to sign up. She was like, I don't really know. I said, okay, this will really work. She said, tell me what you're suffering from. She said, like, I'm a diabetic my whole adult life. And she was wearing this sensor. I said, like, this is super interesting, because if it's not working for you and your sensor will tell you, I'll give you your money back. Because I said to her, I'm so confident this will work for you. If it doesn't, you tell me, you can prove it to me. If it doesn't work, you get your money back. So eventually Mandy said, okay, I'll hop on board, she was really such a great person to work with. I really love Mandy. So then after she restored her body, she had a drop from 74 to 58 in the insulin. So that was her, the sugar. The sugar. So she was a diabetic. She had to measure the sugar. So these were the results after 6 weeks. So she's done the full restore and did the first 2 phases of the reset. So it's like, she was really surprised. She posted this in our little WhatsApp group. And I was like, oh, wow, Mandy, that's really great. Because if she dives under 50, it means she's no longer a diabetic. Now, mind you, that she's been to doctors, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times, 12 times, 13 times, 14 times, 15 times, 16 times, 17 times, 18 times, 19 times, 20 times, 21 times, 22 times, 23 times, 24 times, 25 times, 26 times, 27 times, 28 times, 29 times, 30 times, 31 times, 32 times, 33 times, 34 times, 35 times, 36 times, 37 times, 38 times, 39 times, 40 times, 41 times, 42 times, 43 times, 44 times, 45 times, 46 times, 47 times, 48 times, 49 times, 50 times, 51 times, 52 times, 53 times, 54 times, 55 times, 56 times, 57 times, 58 times, 59 times, 60 times, 61 times, 62 times, her whole adult life. She's now 50. And she said she's been injecting herself with insulin for many, many, many years. So then the doctor was really impressed, like, hey, Mandy, what you're doing, keep on going with what you're doing. So this is Mandy 10 weeks into the program. So this is how she looked when she joined the webinar. You can really see, because I remember her so well, she was on camera and I could really see like she had a lot of fat stored in her body. So for her, it was also cortisol and insulin. She had massive issues with these two. So the same thing, we did the puzzling, and Mandy lost a lot of weight. She got so much of her confidence back. She was always posting in the group like, oh, I'm going shopping with my sister-in-law because I lost a dress size again. And for her as well, she got her insulin level back. So she still needs to do a little bit more, but she's got it back to a 51 now. So her body simply just needs a little bit more time. She has so much more energy. She can memorize things. She's a lot happier. So that was for her a transition in 3 months. Amazing. So what is it that we do in the last phase where I take women through? Because the first phase is really on restoring the body. The second phase is then, okay, once your body is ready, feels safe, and is out of the stress mode, what the body then is ready is to reset these hormones, because the body can listen and it has all the building blocks for hormone signaling. Because that's another thing. If you don't, for example, if you lack certain minerals, your body can't signal certain hormones. It's crazy. So you can try all you like, but without that, your body simply can't do it. So after resetting the body, now this is another thing that I see a lot of programs, they don't do it online, like these buy it for 60 euros. They just do a little bit that thing in the middle. They leave you to it, like figure it out yourself. And what they don't do is at the end, like is how to reclaim your life. Because you've restored your body, you've reset your hormones. But now what? Now what? Like, how am I going to go back in my life? How do I create a formula for my life, a personal formula, to prevent that the frustration come back? Like, that's a little bit like Monopoly. A lot of women, they feel like, oh, go back to start. Or snakes and ladders, you know, you've gone up the ladder to go down with the snake. It's that feeling. Does that make sense? Yes or no? So this phase is all about how do I reclaim my life, and how do I get that body wisdom so that the results that I've made in the first 2 months, they will last. Now, this is really important, because this is from guessing what your body needs to knowing what works for your body, because we're all different. Now, you might think like, oh, what is it then exactly that you do in this phase? And I call this body triggers. Now, what is a body trigger? During the day, women expose themselves. They've created a certain lifestyle for themselves, or they're eating certain foods. And some of that might trigger the body. I call them daytime triggers. So then you go to bed at night, and overnight your body heals. But what happens if you trigger your body more than how it can heal on a nighttime? What happens there is that instead of healing, you're becoming, the issues grow and grow and grow. So this third part is very much on, okay, what is it that you could focus on to take away a couple of these triggers in your personal life that prevent you from having that setback each time. So what my clients notice when they go here, they walk out of the program with a very clear idea. It's like, okay, this is how I can live my life. And I'm not talking about restriction, because we're talking about that as well. It's like, okay, how do you deal with that when you're on a party or this? So how do you live your life so your body stays restored and your hormones are in balance, so that you're not always on that jigsaw? Oh yeah, these are the steps. Yeah, we're already running a little bit late, so yeah, if anyone wants to know, just reach out. But those are the steps to create that body wisdom. So this is how we then look at the body to create that code, what works for you or not. Now, I still have a gift for you. I wanted to, because you were here, I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the webinar actually, but I have something for you. And of course, there's the Q&A as well, where I can take your questions. I saw some questions coming up, but I couldn't really see them all, so I'll walk through that as well. However, before we go there, I really want you to remember something from this workshop today. After the age of 40, so many women, like yourself, they are also struggling with this energy, this weight, mood, brain fog, and so on. And if there's one big takeaway that I would like you to have today, is that many of these symptoms, they are reversible. Now, this is important. You do not have to continue living like this. Now, of course, you're here on this workshop, and I really hope that you've learned something new. Just for you to know, is that just with having this information, your body won't automatically change. This makes sense, right? Because you need to implement it. And this is something that I see all the time. I've got a lot of women, they register for this workshop. Most of them, they don't even show up because they clicked on something and they like the thought of getting better, but they are not really ready yet. Or in secret, they're hoping like, okay, these symptoms will disappear by itself. And what I hope that you've taken away from here today is that these symptoms, they are not going away by themselves. You need to start taking action on balancing your hormones. And just having the information is not going to do the trick, because that's the same if you say like, oh, I want to be a great singer. If you then listen to a podcast around singing, that doesn't make you a singer. You need to then really start practicing it every day. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Because with the inflammation, without inflammation, it's just knowledge that sits on your shelf. We all have that, you know, like we all have like an imaginary shelf where we put our stuff on that we think, oh yeah, one day I'll go and do that one day. So that's the one day shelf. And I call that is shelf development. It's not self-development. So the action is what's going to make the change for you. Now, many of you, they think like, okay, this was really informative. I've learned something new about the perimenopause, and I'm really glad that you did. Some women think like, okay, I'll go back to my own life and I'm doing the exact same thing as I did yesterday, and then hope that something will change. But that is never going to happen. If you're doing the exact same things, there won't be a change. So Einstein had a quote about that. is that if you're if you're expecting the same things over and again, but you're doing the same things, but you're expecting something different. He called that insanity or something like this, he said. And what I really would like as well for you to think about is like, what is the price then as well, that if you're not setting this into action, what is the price on a daily basis for feeling like this, for living your life? Because your 40s should be, it's a new chapter. It's like a fantastic phase in your life with new opportunities. So please go and give this to yourself. Yeah, let me give you the things that I want to give you. So I started with this in the beginning. If you missed it for some reason because you logged in later, if you think like, wow, this was interesting, I would like to keep learning, I have this community. The first one is a WhatsApp community where women can ask questions around hormone health. So if you're not in it and you would like to be in there, just quickly grab your phone and scan that one. And the second one is my Instagram. So the first one as well, any questions, go and post them in there. So I also, if you were here today and you think like, okay, I've heard enough, this was really great. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll share the message. However, for those who want to hear a little bit more, I have something extra for you. So for all the ladies who feel ready to take action on reducing the perimenopausal symptoms, I have something special here for you, because for a very few of you in this group, I've got a 1-hour exclusive hormone balance activation call with me. Now this call is free of charge. And on this call, we're going to look at like what is driving your symptoms. And we're going to clarify what it is that your body needs right now. And I can help you map out a couple of steps for you. And what we'll do as well in this call is talk about the 90-day program and see if this would be a fit for you, like the Restore, Reset, Reclaim. Now, for those who would like to book a call with me, they also get the hormone balance self-assessment. Now, what is a hormone balance self-assessment? This is takes you a couple of minutes, really easy tool that you can do at home, and you then get a clearer understanding if your hormones are out of balance, yes or no. So for some of you, it might be 1 or 2 hormones that are out of balance, but for some of you, it could be a bit more. So for those then who have the hormone balance, you can then take these results. You can go and find yourself a hormone specialist in your country. I've got a list as well for hormone specialists in the UK and in Ireland, if you want to go and see them. Or, for example, you can researching yourself what you can do about this. And if you need help with that as well, I've got a whole list as well with medical books and papers that I use to help myself and my clients with. However, if you feel like, no, I just want to do a bit more, I want to take that next step, and I want to really start as soon as possible on balancing these hormones, I've got this exclusive hormone balance activation call for you. However, this is not for you if you feel like now is not the right time in my life. So if you're saying like, I've got too much going on, then this call is not for you. If you don't want to prioritize or can't prioritize your health right now, or because you have personal issues, then this is not for you. And the reason why I say that is because you're getting the information, but if you don't have time to put it into action, it becomes more shelf development, and that would be a waste of both our times. So this is also not for people who say like, I don't really want to invest in my health journey, because in the advice I'm going to give you some examples on supplements. And if you're saying like, okay, I'm really have to scrape the barrel at the moment, I have no money to invest in my health at the moment, then this is okay. But then also this call is not for you, for that same reason I said before. Now, who is this call for? This call is very much for the people who feel like, I'm just done with the struggle like this, and you feel that you have enough of these perimenopausal symptoms, they're taking over your life, and you're like, no, let's do something different. And if you feel as well that you have some time during the day, like approximately 30 minutes a day, to work on your health overall, it's not one block, but if you sprinkle it out, if you say like, I'm willing to do that to support my body, then this call is also for you. Now we're slightly with a bigger group today. So I don't have space for everyone. I have a couple of spaces over the next day. I'm checking my diary. To speak with you on a one-to-one base, so that we can look to your situation more personally. So this will be a very honest conversation. I've got a few spots available on Thursday and on, not on Friday, and on Monday. So Thursday and Monday. So what I would love for you to do now is write a yes in the chat if you would like one of these spots. And if you know what day, then okay, yeah, okay. And if you already know what day, okay, that's okay. We'll figure that out. Also, if you're, or Thursday, next Thursday, great, yeah, that was my question. And if this is not for you at the moment, then please write a no. Because honestly, no is also absolutely perfect answer as well. I really appreciate women that say like, okay, now is not a good moment for me to go ahead on this journey. Then that is really good. Now, and if you're watching this on the replay, the link to book that call, you can see that under the replay page. So you can grab your spot there from that thing before it fills up. Okay, let me stop the share. We have the Q&A that I will do afterwards, but first let's have a look at this. And I'm checking my diary. Yeah. And open the chat at the same time. How can I do that? Chat. Yeah. So maybe the best way to do this is by, if I call your name, perhaps you could unmute yourself and then we can talk, because that's usually the best way of do it. So, and I could just go from the top. Whoever was first goes first. So, Aurora. Yes, happy to have a call. Is Aurora your first name, or is it Shimran?
So, hello, my name is Simran. Aurora is not my first name, but yeah, you can call me that, no problem.
Okay, Shimran. So what is it that would work for you? I have a little bit left on Thursday.
What time?
Morning. Is that good for you? Otherwise, I have it on Thursday. Speaking, yeah, or I have it on Thursday. Yeah, so Thursday morning. Does that work for you? The slot
Thursday morning around what time are we looking at?
I have around 10 and 11, so that's 1 hour before. So that would be 9 o'clock your time.
Okay.
Or I have 11, so 10 o'clock your time.
So I think Thursday, 9 o'clock my time, you said, right?
Yeah. Could we
Yes.
do 8:45 for you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay, great. So
Thank you.
I did hear, what did it say? Let's see.
Thursday,
Can find your
11th.
name.
You said 8:45. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let me see if I can find your name in the. Could you? Is it Simran? Simran Arora?
Yes, Simran Arora.
Simran.
Yes.
Okay, Simran. Simran. Okay. What I did. Oh, it turned out 8:30. It picked it. Is that too early, or would you prefer 8:45?
I
Or does
think
it not matter for you?
8:45 is good. We can aim for 8:30. I think 8:45 it is. Yeah. 8:45.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Oh, no, sorry. No, I see why it can't. No, it can't do that because then it will overlap. So it needs to be 8:30. Does that work for you?
What is the other slot that you have on Thursday?
The other slot is then a little later because 12. That is from 12. Let me check. 12, 15, 11. From 10 o'clock your time.
10 o'clock won't be possible. Sorry.
No. How about Monday?
Yeah, Monday. What time are we looking at?
So Monday, I've got more availability. Monday is actually quite a good day with loads of slots.
Anything in the afternoon, Lizette?
Yeah. Oh, on Thursday, I also have the afternoon if you want it.
It just, if you let me know the time, I can just confirm immediately.
So 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock for you, sorry.
2 o'clock my time. I think, yes, that works well for me.
Yeah, works for you? Okay.
Perfect.
Let me do that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just faffing here a little bit with that. Why does it not let me book this? Okay, now. Just one little second. There. There. And then I said 11. Sorry, say again. What did we say now? We said
2 p.m. my time.
2 p.m. So 3 o'clock. Okay, 1:15. Sorry, I'm just having a little 2 till 16. Okay. I think it's done it now. Book appointment. Let me check. Yes. Okay, that one's booked. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next one is, next one was leukemia. Thank you so much. Nes, yes, please. Nes, yes, you're next.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
If I could have the Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sure. So Thursday, your 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. And your name is Nes in the system as well?
Yes.
What did
Yeah.
Nes?
And is that Jivraj? Yeah.
Is it Nasleen or is it Nasmina?
It's Nasrin. Nasrin. Nassrin.
N-A
Double S. R-I-N. Nesrin.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, Nesrin.
Okay, so I did 11 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock your time on June the 18th.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to ask you, can you note it in your diary with an alarm and stuff like this? So
Yes, I will
yeah?
do. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks. See you then. Bye.
See you.
Lovely workshop, by the way. Thanks.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad it was helpful for you. Okay, and the next. Regina, yes, please.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Hi, Regina.
Well, Thursday, is it Thursday the 11th or Thursday the 18th?
So 11th.
The 11th, okay. Would there be anything in the afternoon, please?
Yeah, sure. Shall I have a look for you? What's left on? So on the 11th, what I have is I could do for you, if this works, 4:30 on June the 11th.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. And is that a Zoom call or what kind of a call is it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's Zoom. Okay, so the link will be sent to me then, is it? Okay.
I'll
that's
send you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So voor je, even kijken, Regina. Regina, could it be that you logged in on a different name when you signed up? I've got Gina Nesh.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, sometimes people call me Jean instead of Regina. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you are. So I'm writing this down. Gina on the 11th on 4 p.m. for you. Will you write it and put it on?
Yeah, 4 p.m., not 4:30, 4 p.m.
4:30. Yeah, 4:30. Yeah.
4:30.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thanks very much. It was a lovely webinar.
Okay, I'm glad you liked it. See you there.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So Regina, Nes, we did. Regina, Linda, yes, Thursday, please. Linda, where are you? Is Linda still in the room? Linda left. Now, see if I can. Linda wants it. Left the room. Okay. So then we have Ozgay. Have you left as well? Ozgay. Okay. Yes, please. Thank you. Same left. And then Carolina. Carolina, you still there?
Is that me now? Because there were two Carolinas, I think.
Carolina J. Would you like to book a call? Yeah.
But you said if we don't want to, or if we can't invest too much money, I just want to ask ahead before I waste your time in the meeting. How much money are we talking?
So I'm happy to answer this for you. So I'm always saying, like, for example, if you don't have like 100 euros per month in your budget, if you say like, oh, I really can't do that, then I'm not your person.
Because it would be the 90 days, wouldn't it be? So 3 months, kind of.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about this. Sorry?
Yeah, I would come back to you if possible then, before I make an appointment.
Usually it's best if we just talk about this on the call as well.
Oh, all right. I would be interested. I'll definitely start something at the moment with regarding that, even in direction of coaching and everything. So I'm just my first test object, to start on me, and then I want to do something in that direction.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be interested.
This is really what a lot of women, they tell me. They tell me that they say like, I want to try it by myself first. Honestly, I promise you, this is a shortcut. It is such a huge shortcut. So often women think like, I'm going to save money by trying to figure it out by myself. But before you know it, you have doctor's bills, you're on supplements, on all these things. And it's not, in my opinion, it's not the best way to tackle this, especially if you already have some symptoms. But let's talk about it in the call. So we'll talk about it in the beginning. If you say like, it's not for me, then it's all good.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, from next week would be perfect.
Yeah, next week. So Carolina, what is it what works for you?
Anytime after 9:30, and I don't have time around 2, even 1:30.
So on
1:30 to
Monday
2:30.
morning, for example, 9:30?
My time, 9:30.
Your time, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could work.
Yeah, 9:30.
That will
And
be the 15th.
Yeah, so that is Carolina. Oh, Carolina. Carolina Janda, is that you?
Yeah, Janda.
Yeah, okay. So I've got the 15th of June. Yeah. Carolina J,
9:30.
15th of June. And then for you, I have 9:30.
Fantastic.
Will you set an alarm in your...
Definitely. I'm useless otherwise.
Yeah, I always say, honestly, we're all so busy. And I was like, oh, yeah, I had that appointment.
Yeah,
And
no,
yeah.
I always.
The reason why I'm telling other people is because I need to do it for myself. So
always. No, thank you so much, Lisette. That was really lovely, informative. So I see you on Monday.
I'm glad you liked it. See you
Definitely.
Monday. Bye.
Very nice input. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye. Hi, Olu. You are the next on the list.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, Lizette. This is Simran Arora, the first one you booked today.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. There was a confusion, I guess. I thought you mentioned Thursday, 2 p.m. And I have received an invite for Monday, 2 p.m. I have an NHS appointment. I won't be able to attend. Don't want to block that time for you.
Oh, Simran, yeah. And we said, hold on.
Oh, sorry. I just don't want to, take someone else's time.
I like it that you've said it. Can I reschedule this?
So Thursday, 11th of June, 2 p.m. is what I understood. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Let me see if I quickly can change it here on my end. I can't quickly change the time here. That's a shame. Okay, what I go do is I delete it. Delete. It's because I'm fiddling around here a little bit on so the 11th. Okay, yeah, so the 11th.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Yeah, so I don't have a slot on that 2 p.m. So I thought we were talking about the Monday. So let's see if we can find you something different then. So the Thursday morning was not possible for you, you mentioned?
Thursday, 8:30 was looking a bit tricky. 8:45, I'm okay, but
okay,
or I'm okay at 9.
Yeah, let's do that.
Thursday, 11th, 9 my time.
Yeah. So I've shoveled a little bit around. So on Thursday, let me know what is it that works for you in the morning?
9 a.m. 9 a.m. in the morning.
9 a.m. So that's 10 o'clock.
Okay. Sorry for the confusion.
No. I'm glad that you do it because these are these things that can cause issues.
Yeah.
in the week,
Thank
then
you,
we
Lizzie.
have different, yeah, and then it's a shame if someone holds the time open and the other person can't make it.
Can't attend. Exactly. Thank you
Can
so
you-
much.
So I've done the 11th. So you're now on Thursday 11th at 9 o'clock your time. Is that correct?
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Right. Olu, sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah. Tell me, what is it that works for you?
Have you still got slot on Thursday?
Let me see. Thursday, I have Thursday 11 o'clock your time.
11 o'clock. That might be a bit too late. Well, let's do Monday then. Monday's fine.
Monday, okay. I'll go to Monday. So I'm talking about Monday the 15th. So I can do afternoon or morning, have a bit more time there.
Okay. Shall I do morning, please?
Yeah, sure. What I have is 11 o'clock.
In the morning. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah?
That's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Olu. Olu. Is it Olu Waseun?
That's correct, yes.
Just checking if I have the right person. Book the appointment. Okay. So I'm writing this down. Olu, the 15th. Could you write it as well down in your calendar on Monday, the 15th at 11 o'clock?
Okay. Thank you so much. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Great. And I think, do I have? Oops.
Am I the last one?
Everyone. Helen. Yeah, and Simran, I already have you, right? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So I'm just going to leave now.
Oh, no, it's all good. Do you still have a question?
No. I'm good. I'm just going to
Okay.
leave. Thank you. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
See you on Thursday. Bye. Bye-bye.
Hi, Lizette.
Hey.
Hey, all gone? Everybody's gone?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think you were wonderful, Lizette.
Haha.
You
Thank
were
you.
absolutely wonderful.